Oh hey, what's up? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're gonna be talking about darkroom printing or wet printing or whatever it is that you want to call it, and the equipment you'd use in order to do it. What I know is kind of similar across the board is that we all kind of believe that we need a true darkroom space in order to darkroom print, but the reality is that in all honesty we don't. You just need a dark room, which could be your bedroom, your bathroom, a closet, your basement if you're able to get it black enough. Just a dark space where there's no light so that you can make the print. You don't need to be beside, a water source, though it makes your life easier if you are. You could do it all from the space of your bedroom, which is what you'll see I did today. You know what I mean? My bedroom, I just blocked out the windows. And essentially just made it work. I was able to do a contact sheet, and then from that contact sheet choose an image and then print from that image, which I will put up here for you to see, and then the image that we chose at the end. But it's crazy how you'd think that you need the darkroom space in order to do it, when you don't. You just need a dark room. In today's episode, I'm going to introduce you the enlarger that I use, which was the Intrepid 4x5 enlarger kit, as I mentioned before in the previous episode, that I wanted to kind of introduce you guys to that, and kind of show you guys how it functions, how it works, and what it came with. And I also wanted to make sure that I showed you guys what you would require or need in order to print in a darkroom, because I know there's not enough information out there, especially when it comes to the lenses you'd require in order to do this. I had to do a lot of digging to kind of find this information. So, for everybody here, I wanted to make sure at least, I shared that with you. But, again, I'm still learning, I'm still having fun. And I kind of hope you guys enjoy the video. It's not so much me telling you as it's just kind of showing you the process, the things that you'd have to do, the steps in order to make it work. Yeah. Okay, so now here are the tools you'd need in order to start your own darkroom printing session. Now, for items you're gonna need in order to set up your own darkroom, right? You're gonna need tongs. I recommend a set of 3 tongs to help with the picking up and removal from one set of chemicals to the next. You're also going to require trays. Now, for the trays, the recommendation is these are 8x10 partition trays. I recommend, if you don't have a dark room readily, or not a dark room, sorry, a wet space readily available, that you get a set of 4 instead of a set of 3, because with the set of 4, what would then happen is you'd have one for developer, stop, fix, and then a water bath that you can leave your prints in until you're ready to carry them to be washed, right? Now, another item that you're going to need is you're going to require paper. And the paper I recommend from the beginning, or that everyone, at least from my phone online, is that they recommend getting resin coated paper, because resin coated paper doesn't take as long to wash, isn't as hard to print on, and then it's easier to learn on, as opposed to, say, fiber-based, which is the other option you have, especially when it comes to darkroom printing. I was able to get this locally for about $26, $27, but I think that was like $30 for a set of 25. You also have papers from Ilford and Aristo. Aristo makes a matte in black and white that I really want to try, but that's for another day. You're also going to require an easel, right? And now the easels is to help, set your paper, set your frame lines for your print, so that when you do your print, you're able to get, proper framing lines and proper lines on said print. Another item of recommendation would be a focus finder. Now, a focus finder helps you to set your focus on from your enlarger to your paper to make sure that you're able to focus in on the grain of the image, and that would then ensure that you have the sharpest possible print to get. And then other items you're going to need enlarging lenses. Now, the question you want to ask yourself is, what lens do I need to get in order to enlarge? Now, it's pretty hard to find information on that, but from my understanding, you want to get the focal length or the proprietary focal length for the negative that you're going to enlarge. So for example, for 35 proprietarily, most cameras come with a 50mm lens, so you get a 50mm enlarging lens to enlarge 35, right? And then I also have a lot of 6x6 negatives, so my secondary option as well would be a 80mm enlarging lens, right, for my 6x6 cameras, because most 6x6 proprietarily come with a 80mm lens. And then you get a 90 for 6x7. I think it's 105mm and above for 4x5. I don't shoot 645, but I'm assuming it's maybe around a 75, 70 for 645. Again, just assuming there, but I know for a fact 35 you'd want at least a 50mm, 6x6 you'd want at least an 80. And then for the most important piece of our puzzle here now is that with the Intrepid Enlarger kit, it's a standard 4x5 setup, so you get this one free. However, when they came out with their kit, their Intrepid Enlarger, they also created the other frame masks, as you can see here. So I have a frame mask from 35 all the way up to 6x9 that I can then utilize this little contraption here and my 4x5 camera in order to enlarge my negatives. Now, to provide you with more information on the Intrepid Enlarger setup here, this is the kit that you've seen before, where it also allows you to do black and white and color development. Now, with this kit, you can see here where right here, this is where you'd find your contrast filters. So if I move this, you will notice that where it says contrast here, because currently in the black and white mode, it's currently moving from 0 all the way through 5, similar to what you'd get with most of your, standard Ilford contrast filters. And in modes, you have black and white mode, color mode, so this is where your cyan, magenta, yellows would come in, as well as a scanning mode, where this will only turn on a white beam of light, as you can see there, that would then allow you to just scan your negatives. Putting it back in black and white mode, because that's what we're using, or we had used. It also has standard timers up and down, so you can set your timers here. You have a focusing light that comes on to allow you to focus your negative when you're working on it. You have, and you hit it to turn it back off, you have a run light. You can see here where the light is a little bit more contrast than you'd expect it to be. Right? And kind of as you filter through the contrast, you'd see where the tone of it kind of changes a bit. Right? You also have cancel that allows you to start over, and then this allows you to flip through. It also has a built-in safe light. As you can see here, that should be good with the negative of the paper. again, I know this wasn't the most comprehensive review, given that this is also my first foray, in the whole darkroom wet printing space. But I just want to kind of give you guys like just a feel for, the stuff that you'd need, with the trays, the focus finder, the enlarger. Now, granted, I don't think this would be my main enlarger kit, given that I've now started. I've found my pros and my cons being that I have a hard time trying to like figure out positioning or focusing or framing. Framing is the word I want to use for my print with the Intrepid enlarger, and also that it's not a standalone enlarger, right? So I keep having to break down, set up. Now, granted, that's also a pro because then if you don't have the space, this allows you to be able to break down and set up your enlarger with ease. And then it's so small because, it's your 4x5 camera that when you break it down is a box, and then everything else you can kind of just tuck away. But that's just my kind of one con where it's like I have a hard time figuring out how to frame it. And I think that's mainly just user error on my part, but that's the only thing that I personally currently have a problem with. But given that this is also pretty new to me, I'm learning, so I don't have much to go off. I wasn't raised in the US where you guys had like a darkroom printing session and you learn photography from that way, or college, you know what I mean? But for me, I know this is fun, but I think I might truly invest in a true standalone unit. Probably, yeah, whatever, man. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, and one more thing before I forget, if you watch this far at least. What I had the enlarger set up on was my tripod. So you can use your tripod or a copy stand. I already have a tripod, so I just use the tripod. Maybe a copy stand would help more. Who knows? I don't. But until next time. Peace.